Welcome back to Breaking Ground. Now, there's a serial killer on the loose in Bengaluru. And in the last 1 year, this pothole menace in the city has claimed at least 6 lives in what is supposed to be an IT hub with world-class infrastructure in full public view. And yet there's absolutely no action against the culprit as victims continue to fall prey. The killers are ominous potholes. Just days after 44-year-old Supreet succumbed to his injuries sustained after his motorcycle ended up skidding off a pothole, another video has now surfaced where a lady narrowly escaped serious injuries. In a video, a woman can in fact be seen riding a scooter as she skids and falls on the road as the vehicle moves over a pothole. Fortunately, the rider was wearing a helmet and no major injuries were sustained. What is in fact shocking, or perhaps a trend now, after outrage, the pothole was filled with gravel and stones without any proper corrective action taken or anybody held accountable.
It was a usual day for me to office, like I was doing a ramp up, climbing a ramp up, and suddenly I saw a lady just skidded and fallen down. Instantly I realized there was a pothole, and because of that she has fallen down. So I immediately rushed to the spot, so I switched off my car, so dash cam also stopped there. I believe that there was no fracture, but she was badly bruised and it was pretty bad fall. So it felt pretty bad to see a person falling not because of his fault, right, and because of the infrastructure issues, right? So it's like, it's not her fault, nothing of her fault. She was just going in a road. She believed that the roads are good, but the roads are bad, and not because of her fault she has fallen down. I'm not sure who is going to be responsible, who can take responsibility for this.
Now, this is not a menace that's confined to the armed janta of a city like Bengaluru. This is something that's endemic across different parts of the city, and such is the audacity of the disregard for civic facilities that even the road outside the State Assembly in Bengaluru, which is the Vidhan Sauda, has potholes.
We are just off Millers Road heading towards Chalokya Circle in Bengaluru, and here you can see right opposite the BWSSB office a huge crater of sort that has come up, and it's not very clear what's the reason for this, but you can see what it has led to is a huge traffic pile-up, because pots have been put up to ensure that the commuters don't really move onto this particular stretch, which could lead to, of course, hazardous consequences. And almost half of the road has been used up, which is funneling traffic to one side and causing a lot of inconvenience. We've seen a lot of pothole menace in Bengaluru. Now, what's the reason for this and what is the excuse the officials are going to give is something that's going to be interesting to note. The dash cam footage that shows the accident where a woman lost control of her bike, falls off, was the car that was behind, which had the dash cam, fortunately stopped just in time, or else there would have been yet another tragedy that would have unfolded in Bengaluru, and that would due to a pothole. I'm standing right now on the flyover leading to Kyarpuram from Kalyan Nagar. Now, this is the exact spot where the accident took place. Right now you can see all that they've done is yet another shoddy patchwork, and there is no asphalt. There is just some gravel and mud that has been used to cover it, and probably it has been done very recently. There's all the mud has almost come off at this point in time, and probably if it's not asphalted in the next 24 hours, you'll see the pothole once again revived in this road. And this is a flyover, mind you, and across this stretch of the flyover there are multiple such potholes.
This stretch has been little disturbed all throughout. Initially there was a white topping done, and now the white topping is being broken and metro is being constructed. So, and there are potholes all through. So I hope they fix all these things and potholes, so it is at least a safe way to drive or safe way to reach work.
Despite several reminders to the officials, despite several such incidents that are coming to the fore, lives that are lost, but on the ground the reality is pretty abysmal.
Now, the Brihat Bengaluru Mahanagar Palike, or the BBMP, has a budget outlay of almost 10,000 crores, and despite that we're seeing this happen on a repeated basis. What really explains the magnitude of the problem? Let's listen to what the BBMP Commissioner told Times Now.
ಗುಂಡಿಗಳಿಂದ ತಾವು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದಿರಿ ಸಾವು ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ತನಿಖೆ ನಡೆದ ನಂತರ ಸಿದ್ಧ ಆದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಗುಂಡಿಯಿಂದ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಕೆಲವು ಘಟನೆಗಳು ಆಗಿವೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ FIR ಲಾಂಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆ FIRನಲ್ಲಿ ತನಿಖೆ ನಡೀತಿರುವುದರಿಂದ ಈ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ನಾವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರತಿಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅಸೂಕ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಲೂ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ತನಿಖೆ ಮುಗಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ.
Let me go across to Deepak Bopanna, who is joining us from Bengaluru and has been covering this issue very closely. Now, Deepak, what really explains the evasive responses that the BBMP has so far given when they are the organization that is supposed to be accountable for what's been happening in the city?
Well, Siddharth, there's no explanation really to what the BBMP commissioner is saying. He's saying an investigation is going on, nothing can be done at this point in time. What needs to be done is to fix the roads in Bengaluru. That's the basic thing that the BBMP is supposed to do, to provide basic amenities like the good roads that the people can fly on and not probably, get out of home. And, some of them not even returning home because they're losing their lives. This is the bare minimum that the civic body can do. And instead of shirking off responsibility and saying an investigation is going on only after it concludes, can they really assess what's happened? It's pretty evident. It's a CCTV camera that showed that, Supreet lost control over his bike when he, rides over that particular pothole. Another dash cam footage is showing a pothole right in front where, the woman who's riding right in front of a car, which is captured. The dashboard camera of this car has captured the footage, falls down after she lands onto the pothole. So these are instances that anybody can see. It's surprising that the BBMP is, acting
Absolutely.
like, they don't see these sort of
evasion of responsibility there, Deepak. I urge you to stay with us because we're being inundated right now with calls and people calling in from Bengaluru, which is one of the worst affected cities in India as far as this phenomenon is concerned. We're joined right now by Mr. Babu Rao from Bengaluru. First up, Mr. Babu Rao, your response to what's been happening in the city and the repeated trend that we're witnessing of deaths being caused due to potholes.
Good evening and thank you for providing me an opportunity. This has become talking about potholes. You were just now telling about potholes need to be fixed. I will say that we need to fix the people. I come from a multinational company and there is no accountability. This is number one. And it doesn't require a rocket science. We go outside abroad and create roads. And 1930s, Germany showed how to make roads, which are still good. What is lacking is the BBMP commissioner. He is telling there is an investigation. He should be sacked. And on top of it, you know what? At least if these people like ordinary citizens, they travel in a scooter, in a bike, on the roads, the so-called elected representatives.
Absolutely valid point there made by Mr. Babu Rao, a representative of an MNC as well, supposed to be living in a world-class city, but it has pretty appalling infrastructure given what we've witnessed over the recent days. Mr. Manoj Sharma also joins us on the phone line. Yes, Mr. Sharma, your response.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, this is not just potholes and people dying, on Sarjapur Road and towards the Whitefield areas. There are hundreds and thousands of school children who get stuck for hours together. They are hungry, they have no food, they cannot go home, they cannot go to school. And this is an everyday thing. Just hundreds and hundreds of school kids who are stuck on the road for hours. Their parents are worried, they have no clue where. We don't know whether the bus is... And the road condition is so bad that you can get hurt even if you're a child sitting in a school bus.
Absolutely.
And BBMP is just, deaf and dumb.
Absolutely. There needs to be accountability there, Mr. Sharma. Ramesh also joins us on the phone line. Yes, Mr. Ramesh, your response to what we've been witnessing in Bengaluru over the last few days.
See, totally it is in a worst condition whenever rain has come. So it is really very, very horrible condition what I am seeing. Totally, this is actually heart of the city of Bengaluru. Totally Karnataka, we are improved like anything. But in the BBMP and all, these people are wasting time and having looting money by having with a lot of injured whenever rain comes in the totally Bangalore.
Yes. Absolutely. Thanks for that, Mr. Ramesh. Natarajan also joins us on the phone line. Yes, Mr. Natarajan, your views on this extremely disturbing trend.
Good evening. Good evening to all. See, yesterday in the same outer ring road, a 23-year-old techie was going to the office in the morning 9:20. And because of this condition of the road, a truck ran over him and he was spotted. I mean, this is a kind of condition where people are dying, youngsters are dying.
Like Natarajan, first and foremost, there needs to be accountability. You brought forward a very important point there. Ravi from Bengaluru also joins us. Yes, Ravi, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, Ravi, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good evening, sir. Good evening. Yeah, sir, this is so sad that this particular government is actually spoiling the name of the central government. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So this is so sad scenario that this particular government of Karnataka is spoiling the government of, spoiling the name of the central government. There is no development happening in Karnataka, and they are just saying we have done that, we have done this. But this is the thing what we are going to see.
Absolutely. The political leadership also needs to be held accountable. Thanks a lot for your responses there. We'll slip into a short break. More lined up for you on the other side. Stay tuned.